Okay, welcome back to my channel. So a little bit of an intro there with me getting on really and getting all of the herbs in from the garden, collecting the last of the apples. It's at the end of the season now, and honestly I haven't grown much this year, but the things I have are the apples, some herbs, and I wanted to preserve those before they went bad because already some were falling on the ground. So I've made a big batch of apple puree that you've just seen, which is then going to go into the freezer. I have also then collected the oregano, I've collected the mint and the chives, and I'm now just going to be dehydrating that. I've also got some chicken stock going on in the background there. I'll insert a picture here, but I collected I collected all the chicken bones basically and have a roast dinner, collect all the old scraps from vegetables as well, pop it all in the freezer, and then when I'm running low on homemade chicken broth or chicken stock, I then do a big batch in my Instant Pot. So I've just done that as well. Yeah, and just really trying to get ahead. There are the chives. Side note, in a second, I also realised that I probably should have cut them first. I usually do snip them before drying, and actually that was going to be a lot easier. They were hard to handle when they were dried. But yeah, so I've just thought I'd do a little thing behind the scenes to show you what I've been getting up to. Just like that, I have 6 jars of homemade apple sauce. They're still cooling. I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jars of chicken stock, which is amazing. That's some gravy I'm making at the back with some of the extra chicken stock. Some apple sauce is staying out, and they are still dehydrating. I've just turned it off because I needed the plug for a minute, but clearly I need to wash up. But I call that a successful kind of a small holding afternoon. Okay, so I just wanted to now quickly, as the last bit, I need to get all the herbs that I've dried over here in my dehydrator, which is behind me. I've been meaning to put them away for, I want to say a couple of weeks actually. They've been sitting ready to go away for a couple of weeks. I forgot, time's moved on, things have happened. So I've got everything ready. I already have some mint that was on the go. I was nearly out, so it's good that I've dried some more. And basically I've just tried to get all the last herbs from the garden. There's a few more chives to come and a few more oregano plants that I need to harvest. Apart from that, I think the mint's pretty much done. Weather is starting to drop over here now in England, and in the south we've still got some warmth, still got some sunshine, but it's definitely noticeably getting colder in the mornings. Sun is kind of not around as much. The evenings are drawing in, so it's definitely preparing for the autumn season to come and the autumn weather to come. So I'm going to get these last herbs put away, and then yeah, that's me basically prepared. All the apples are done, everything's done in the garden. I do still want to do some preserving over winter. I really want to look into some pressure canning, so I'm going to be looking into how to do that with my Instant Pot. I believe I've seen you can do that with your Instant Pot, so I'm going to research that and try to do some kind of basic beginner recipes and ideas first. I would love to get to the point where, I think I've seen this on Aga Homestead, where she's now canning and pressure canning whole meals. I'd love to get to that stage. Definitely haven't got, I think, a big enough setup for that right now. Storage wise, either that's when I move. I really want to have kind of a full working pantry with meals on the shelf ready to go, and basically just upping what I'm doing at the moment. But for now, this is all done. I've even got kind of just checking my dried chilies, which I've also done. So that one I hadn't shown yet, but I have had a chili plant. It's now really had its best, so it's gone, but I got all the chilies dried. They're all done as well. So I've got mint, chives. I had some rosemary left as well, so I'm going to go see if I can find any more rosemary in the garden, but that was where I was at with that one. So mint, oregano, chives, rosemary and chili, and that's where I was at currently. And the apples are all pureed in the freezer, chicken stock done. So yeah, feeling pretty organised, but just going to get these last ones done, and then that's it for now. So there's probably an easier way of doing this, and to be honest, I am making a mess. So side note, probably better to get a tray, and maybe there's better jars, but I just store them in these kind of old pickle jars that I like to recycle things, and these have had chutney in and things over time. So I think they're just a good size, so I keep these in my cupboard and use those for herbs. Obviously I have some smaller things that I buy from the supermarket, which originally, if I haven't, paprika or something, they come in those. I then also have much larger containers in my store cupboard behind me, which I buy from Costco, because I do buy larger quantities of certain herbs and spices. But things like this, which are homegrown, I am taking them off the stems I don't know if you could do that before actually. I don't think so. I think this is probably the easiest way. I mean, let me know if there's an easier way, because obviously now I'm having to sit here and go through. The leaves do come off pretty easily, and I don't mind if there's a little bit of stem in there, that's fine, but the majority are just sliding off, which is absolutely fine. So I'm going to get all these put away, and then I'll progress on to the mint. Just to say as well, I am a super messy cook. I'm always cleaning after, but I mean, look, I can't help it. I'm a super messy cook, so there was herbs going everywhere. But I would just scoop them up at the end and put them in, and that's fine. And I'm also more dressed up than normally. Please don't think I normally have my hair styled and, you know, wearing a slightly more smarter suit just for doing this. I've just been out this morning at one of my events that I organise, my Women in Business Networking. It was a breakfast club. So I was just doing that this morning, and then thought quickly when I get home I want to get this finished off so I can get the space back on top of my stove and progress onto something else. But yeah, normally wouldn't be like this. Hair would be up and ready to go. Stored. It's just all in here now off the stems, which are at the back, which I will tidy up at the end. But I'm now going to progress on to the mint. So this is the last mint I've had of the season. Again, I have taken most of it off already. When I was drying it, I got it off the stems. But I'm just going to put it off, and I just honestly just crush mine into a big jar like this. I use a lot of mint. I absolutely love mint. I put it into water for some mint tea. I put it onto meats to make some minty lamb. Really good, or just, you know, into some herb salads. I use a lot of mint, so, which is also gutting because I again didn't grow much this year, which normally the mint just grows wildly, but I think because I really haven't nurtured the garden this year, which again, harping on about moving, but because of moving, I just, yeah, haven't taken the time and the effort into the garden, so it's just been slightly neglected from what it needed, and so I just haven't grown as much, which is fine. It's annoying now, like obviously I would like to have more to harvest, and the fact that we haven't moved and things are being slightly delayed, which is fine, it's frustrating, but at the same time it is what it is. I've got some delicious mint, which is going to be great for seasonings, and like I said, I just scrunch it up, not too badly, but honestly the smell is incredible. If you've ever dried mint yourself, you know the smell is amazing, so this is beautiful, but it's just going to be in here where I need it. And yeah, hopefully next year when we move, I will be having a wildfire amount of mint growing, because although it does grow like a weed, I think the more the merrier, because it's great for the chickens, it's great for animals. When I had horses, it used to go into my horses' diets. I mean, it is just a godsend. So that was an easier one. So that one's fine. And then lastly, it's just my chives, which I need to find another jar. Bear with me. Always pays to keep your jars. I have so many. I buy different jars for different things, but a lot of these are pickle jars and things that I've cut. So again, the chives, I did something different this year. I did not cut it into little pieces. Sometimes I sit here and snip it into pieces. I didn't. I wanted just to dry it whole, really just for speed at the time. I'm curious though, because it's completely dry, but it's not snappable, which is interesting, because I thought it would be. So I think actually, but now I'm going to store it as a whole, because again, I'm in a bit of a pinch. I've got blogs to write, letters to go out, and emails and things, so I haven't got much time. But I think in future, a little lesson to myself, I would probably cut this before drying. So side note to yourselves, probably do that. It's going to make it easier. I think what I will do is, when I have a few more minutes, I will actually grind this up with my NutriBullet and the coffee grinder setting, and just, yeah, grind it up to make it into a powder, some more of a chive powder. But for now, honestly, because I do use this quite a lot as well, I use it in eggs, scrambled eggs is really good. I'm just going to pop it into here, and I'm just going to pull out some when I need some for now, because I've got a little time crunch. I'm on a time crunch, so that is okay. That is fine. But it will stay nicely in here. It's completely dry. Like I said, it just dries it differently. So obviously like the mint leaves, which break up really easily. So that is absolutely fine. Plus I need to tidy up now as well because I've made even more mess. So get that all inside there. Perfect. Okay, we're doing well. So now I'm good to go and put everything away. But I have my dried chives, I have a bunch of dried chilies, which again I have not ground up yet. Sometimes I would put this in the bullet and again grind them down to a powder. I haven't, so I've just left them kind of as halved chilies, seeds and all. I wanted everything because I use a little bit and perfect, nice bit of heat. And it's also a mixed batch. This is some habanero and Scotch bonnets in here, so there's 2 types. This is all then the oregano. I have the rosemary, like I said, I'm going to quickly see if there's any more rosemary outside, and the mint. So a successful mini haul, mini little find, and you know, preservation type. Preservation, is that the right word? Preservation. No idea. Basically, preservation. I've preserved it. Oh my goodness, get the words. But basically, mini little bit of herbs there, all preserved, so they're all good to go. Going to put them away, and yeah, the garden is ready. So I hope you enjoyed this really short video. I'm doing this all at weird angles, like I said, a little bit started a few weeks ago and then now today. But I hope everyone's well, and I will be back soon. Okay, bye.